You've probably played a lot of competitive games in your time. Games like StarCraft, CSGO, League of Legends, these are all very popular competitive games. These games are even addicting, and we go back to them more and more, and we might not even realize why. We haven't even thought about that. But today we're going to be looking at the mindset required for competitive gameplay. Oftentimes, players don't have the right mindset going in, and it becomes very unhealthy for them. I'm sure you've all seen that game where you lose terribly and it ruins your whole entire day. Trust me, it's happened to everyone, and you are no different. You see, competitive games give us this real sense of pressure to overcome, and not everyone is able to do that. It can take a lot of determination and hard work to get to the point where you are able to understand and overcome that amount of pressure. We've all been in a game where our whole team is waiting for us to make a move to potentially either win the game or lose the game, and everyone is completely silent, waiting for you to make a move. It is your chance for either glory or devastation. All eyes are on you, and you must perform. It's almost like being in a pressure cooker where everything builds up to the final round. This is one of the things that makes competitive gameplay so entertaining and enjoyable. This, however, can also be a point of frustration for certain players, because if you hit that point of pressure and then do not succeed, it can all come crashing down in frustration. So how do we keep ourselves from hitting that point of tilt? This can be a difficult thing for some players. Being able to maintain control over yourself even during a losing streak can be quite difficult. So the question is, why do you play competitive games? Is it solely for the point of dumpstering other players? One of the best reasons to play competitive games is to better yourself at a game. If you come into the game with a plan of improving, and that's the whole reason why you're doing it, then it will become enjoyable to you now have a deeper purpose of playing the game rather than just trying to win. If we are just playing to win, then tilt will definitely come easy. Being able to let a loss roll off of your back is one of the best things you can learn in a game, and it will help your performance dramatically. Sometimes this is pretty difficult to accomplish though. For some people, this can even take years and years of practice. One thing that can help with this is self-talk. This is when, in a competitive scene, you communicate with yourself about what you are trying to learn and how you want to improve. Research has shown that people who do self-talk before competing in sports and games have a 1% better performance than those who do not. How you self-talk is very important though, because if you are telling yourself how horrible you're doing and how you'll never win or achieve your goals, then that will be a negative influence. Rather, what you should do is tell yourself what areas you're going to improve on, how you're going to do better than you did last game, and things you're going to watch for and gain an advantage in the future. Something as simple as aiming can be improved by just telling yourself to pay attention to where your cursor is, paying attention to how you're moving, having an active mind, focusing on things that you know you should be doing that you have been practicing in your non-competitive games. It can be a helpful idea to write down what you realize you say to yourself when you're playing competitive games. Be active in it and don't take such a passive role. Ask yourself, am I being angry about what's happening? What is making me tilt? What is making me frustrated? How can I improve so that this doesn't happen next time? Was the reason we lost this game my fault? What did I do wrong? What can I improve upon? The more active you are in your learning goals and the more you focus on these questions when playing the game, you will get better. You will have a 1% improvement over time. A lot of times when I've been playing games, I don't even recognize that I'm ranking up because I'm just so focused on what I can improve on, how I lost my last game, and how I'm going to do better in the next game. Next area a lot of people need to improve on is how to lose. Losing oftentimes is not fun or enjoyable in any way. Obviously, our goal in playing games should be to win and do our very best. But if you lose, it's not a complete loss, and in some sense, you learn more than when you win. It is only through loss and pain that we are able to understand what we did wrong to improve ourselves. A lot of people only learn through that type of method. So instead of smashing your keyboard into your monitor or throwing your headphones across the room, you need to ask yourself, how did I mess up? What caused me to lose? If you are a gamer who often does get angry like that, you need to take some time to really think about it. Take some time to figure out what caused it. Take some time to think about the game. Rewatch your game. You have to get to the point where you do not blame others, where you take absolute, total, full responsibility for what happened. If you struggle recognizing this, ask yourself the question, if one of the pro players was doing the same exact game as I did, would they have won or lost? This can help you realize that there's a lot of room for improvement. You are not the best player, and the best player probably would have won in your situation. So you must be doing something wrong, and there can be something you can improve on. Sometimes just being able to coordinate your team as a better player and helping them realize what they need to do can help you win a game. Having a bit of charisma can really influence whether or not you win or lose. There have been games that I've played where we were definitely losing, but I encouraged my team and we stuck through it and ended up winning because we increased our morale, which ended up giving us a huge advantage over our enemies. Do not underestimate the power of friendship. Something that can help us not rage quite as much is when we understand that losing is actually a good thing. Also guys, if you are liking this video, definitely subscribe, it helps out the channel a lot. Losing has lots of benefits for us. As previously mentioned, when we lose, we are more challenged with what we did on whether or not it was efficient and how we can improve ourselves. Whereas when you win, you just take that for granted and are excited, but don't necessarily see the areas that you messed up. You should view losing as your superpower because that gives you a competitive edge. If you are able to control your temper and think logically through that loss, you will have an advantage. If you ever get to the point where you're able to work with a team of players who are playing with you, then work together through the problems and logically find out what happened wrong. Did you miss timings on certain buildings? Did you forget a specific smoke? Maybe you kept over rotating. Breaking down your games are your greatest advantage. And of course, one of the main things that can keep you competitive in games is having practice. Practice is what puts all of your study into play. If a competitive game is not fun anymore and you don't really enjoy doing it, then find something different. Not every person enjoys the competitive scene. But if it's something that you do like and you're motivated by, practice, practice, practice. Thank you guys for sticking to the end, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I will see you guys on the battlefield, and I will see you guys in the next one.